It's finally happened. The Jaguars are the Jaguars good? The Jaguars are looking good. Their offense is looking very good. And in fact, it's amazing. What I'm going to talk about here is going to be how much easier it looks for Trevor Lawrence to run this offense than it did last year. We're getting to see him make easy throws, which is exactly what we want because we know he can do highlight reel level plays. We saw that even last year, he was able to make highlight reel level plays. What we want to know is, can he be a game manager? Can he get that aspect of his game down? Because if he can do that, then he can become this, all-world quarterback that a lot of us thought he could be when he was drafted first overall. But something like this is a great example of just kind of how Doug Peterson has come in and just said, let's simplify things, let's make this easy, and let's just, get you to make a throw quickly. That's one thing that I do think is a big correlation to why we've seen Lawrence have success is he's getting rid of the ball way quicker. He was, this is something that I noticed was a bit of an issue in college, and it became, it reared its ugly head in his first season in the NFL. And so Doug Peterson, being a good coach, says, okay, if you have an issue, let's fix it. One way to fix it is by designing plays to get him to get rid of the ball quickly. This is going to be man coverage, and it's just a quick route over the middle, but these are routes that can work, and it can get the ball get you to throw the ball quickly and things like that. And watch how when Lawrence takes a snap and looks in that direction and fires in that direction, you see how open it was. So this is definitely, several important things to talk about. One, you're getting receivers to win their one-on-one matchup. That's always important. Two, you're having, I feel like too often watching that Urban Meyer offense, there was like these long developing plays that were supposed to take 3.5 seconds to develop. And it's like, dude, this is the NFL. You don't get that anymore. Peterson is an NFL coach. He understands how the NFL works, and he's been, it's been a great success so far through 3 weeks. I'm sure Jaguars fans are thrilled with what he's brought in. But the other aspect is you do have to give credit to Lawrence for getting better at when he sees someone open, throwing to the open guy. He wouldn't always do that last year either. Again, yes, it was a horrible situation, but there's also elements of he's just getting better. And maybe that's coaching, but maybe it's just him, getting better on his own to some degree as well. And as you see, it is going to be a good run after the catch on top of this by Jamal Agnew. So, you're able to pick up a first down on top of all of this, which is just, a very good play, but it's not like the highlight reel level play, and that's what Lawrence needed. Lawrence needed to be able to get some easy completions because the good stuff was already there. We already knew the upside. We wanted to see the average stuff now, and that's what he's been doing. Now going on to something like this is kind of another example of just getting a play that he can just sort of run the offense and get someone open, right? He's not going to have to juke out 7 guys and make a throw off balance 50 yards down the field. Maybe he can do that, but we don't want to make him do that all the time because no one can do that with great consistency. This play is a pretty simple concept against zone coverage where you have one receiver run a deep route, another receiver is going to sort of cut underneath the safety, and with a play action you kind of bring the underneath guys further underneath. A deep route pushes the deep guys further deep, and you can throw over the middle and hopefully get a completion that way. So Lawrence is going to take the snap. He's going to run to play action. He looks down the field and he fires down the field. And at this point, again, it's not wide open, but Lawrence can hit these throws pretty consistently. Christian Kirk is open enough that that's all you really needed. And again, this is why you bring in Christian Kirk, because you felt he would fit the offense well. Did you overpay given his market value of where he was at last year? Sure, but you figured he would fit the offense well enough that it would still be a positive asset. And so far, he's made all of the idiots that criticize that contract, me being one of them, look like idiots. And again, Kirk is now able to get some yards after the catch, which that always makes things helpful. But again, part of it is the coaching of getting guys schemed up so that they can get yards after the catch. And part of it is the throwing of Trevor Lawrence being able to make these accurate throws. So Lawrence is in a better situation, but he's also taking advantage of that situation. And that's why I'm willing to say right now Lawrence is a good quarterback, because that's kind of, that's a big part of football. It's just being able to do this stuff. If you can do this stuff, like you'll be successful in this league. However, I want to go over here now because I don't want to just simply talk about the plays that were schemed up for him, because that stuff is that's probably the most exciting stuff. But there was some legitimately good plays on top of this from Lawrence that weren't schemed up, which again, we know he can do, but this is still exciting. And this play is probably the most exciting, where the way it works is it's typically what you do is, this is typically a good concept against zone coverage because you have 2 guys who will essentially get into one zone. The guy can only cover, the defender can only cover one of those 2 wide receivers. Either he goes deep or goes shallow and you hit the other guy. However, when this play begins, you're going to see right here, chaos ensues as there's contact with 2 Chargers on 1 Jacksonville Jaguar. So I think in this scenario, a lot of guys would just throw it to the other eligible receiver right here because, okay, there's literally 2 players touching the other guy. That's what I'm going to do. But Lawrence is still going to sit here and make his read. Because look, as you see when he gets over there, there's, both of those 2 Chargers players kind of get off of that read and try to get to the other guy. They both thought that they should have gotten the other guy, meaning that the first player is now open. You're not going to see Lawrence hit Zay Jones, that was the receiver, and then you're able to pick up a first down. That's just, again, being aware and not just assuming something right away, being a little bit patient, but also still firing it the second it gets open, all of that good stuff. And finally, one last play. So what's going to happen here is it's zone coverage, and so it's essentially going to turn into a one-on-one matchup. And you're going to see Lawrence take the snap. He's going to fire one. First off, just a beautiful thrown ball. The ball looks just, it's a thing of beauty off of his hands. The way it explodes off his hands, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks very pretty the way he can throw it. You also see, though, this is not widely open, and this is where that generational talent, quote unquote, stuff comes in, of being able to make these types of incredible throws incredibly accurate. Look at this, when just how he threw it. Just, again, a thing of absolute beauty right there for Trevor Lawrence. And these are the kind of things that he has been doing relatively consistently, I would say, for Jacksonville. Again, it is still just a couple of weeks, and he wasn't fantastic week 1, but he's been very good weeks 2 and weeks 3, and so you're just hoping that this stuff continues, and if he can be sort of this, game manager type guy who can run the Doug Peterson offense well at that point, but it can still have these highlight reel level plays. This is why, he is kind of, at this point, probably the guy that you would definitely feel like you would take first overall once again in that draft class, because of how successful he has looked and because of how much good he has shown so far. There's a lot of reason to be excited about this Jaguars team, but the biggest of reasons about why you should be excited about this Jaguars team is clearly the situation that's going on with their star quarterback looking like a star. Again, very exciting to see all these young players really come into things and be looking very good. But, if this is who Trevor Lawrence is, and if Trevor Lawrence is legitimately, already kind of this, I don't know if I'm going to say he's like a tier 1 quarterback quite yet, but is he a tier 2, tier 3 quarterback? He might be a tier 2 quarterback already. That's how he's playing right now, in my opinion. He's playing like a tier 2 quarterback with potential to definitely get better. He's in that second year, situation, which tends to be a second year jump, second or sometimes third year jump. And it looks like he's all the way there. But again, we still will have to wait and see on a bigger sample size, but it's certainly exciting if you're a Jaguars fan. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Lawrence and all the interesting stuff that has happened and all the good stuff that has been going on? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.